How you going? This is a video for the beta testers of the Megaset 2.0. It's a quick overview, quick run through so people can get up to speed very quickly and try and break it for me. If you're not a beta tester, then you might find this interesting. This is the upcoming Megaset, which is going to be out soon. Massive project, so big that I need people to make sure it is working properly before I get it out. Yeah. If you are interested in being a beta tester, it's open for pro members, preferably if you have a Launchpad. Get in touch and I can hook you up with access. Okay, so when you open it up, it looks like this. It's similar to the old Megaset in the sense that the first 6 tracks are audio tracks that contain a track which is chopped into 6 layers and then split into clips, and same with 7 through 12. So this is track 1, you could say, and this is track 2. They're split into bass, kick, percussion, synth, tech, and rest. And if we scroll down, we'll see here's one group of clips for the first track. The scenes are all split up into what they should be. Red usually means a drop, and then it kind of fades. It's color coded for when something isn't so intense, yellow being kind of breakdowns and whatnot. All the clips that have important features that come into the track are named as appropriately as I thought would be good. So that's one track. As we scroll down, you can see the next track comes in here, so you can mix the 2 tracks together. And then of course we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 tracks in total. So that's why it's a 15 gigabyte download at the moment. So as usual, so that's pretty straightforward stuff. That's what my old Megaset used to do. And as I said, you can zigzag your way down like so. Okay, if we scroll across, there's a group called custom racks. So this is where there's a bunch of racks, most of them specific to a particular tune. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, this one here, Doppler, for example, this is an arpeggiator with a synth and a bunch of effects. It's set up in a way that the macros change things in a Doppler kind of style. So I'll just arm the track and play a note for you. And obviously the Doppler knob will create a Doppler effect. So it kind of pitches it down, slows it down, and pans it from left to right. We've got a wave shaper, so we can change the waveform of it. Let's try white noise. Quite fun. Grunt turns up a redux. Filter decay on the filter there. We've got a reverb amount and a reverb size, straightforward, and a volume just in case. The next one, this is a kind of a synth line for the Organic Latte remix that I did for Isaac Chambers. This one has a whole series of analogs in a chain, and they're all set to have a different format filter playing over a saw wave. So by changing the format knob, it goes through the chain selector, so each knob can be a different vocal sound on this track. And of course, we've got a feedback there, which I'll turn down. Like so. I need to work on my levels a wee bit for this one, but that's a bit of a fun to have a jam with. This one here, B's Shepherds. This is a Shepherd's tone device, but what it does is it uses corpuses instead of sine waves from a synthesizer, so that you can actually feed it any audio and it will give it a corpus, so it'll kind of ring modulate it in a way, or give it a ring, a tail to it, and then the LFO will do all of the Shepherd's tone work. So that's quite a cool thing. So if I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, I've just put some clips that come with the Ableton Live Suite standard. So I'll just play one of these, solo it for you. So you can see I've got a whole all these corpuses and chains and the LFO is slowly pitching them all up whilst bringing in the top one and making the bottom one fade away, which creates an endless tone. We can speed it up here. Let's play a different clip for you. And we've got a decay, which is how long that kind of ring lasts for, that tail. Like so. So that's a lot of fun. You can route anything that's playing over in the audio tracks to that. Kicking grain. This is just a grain delay with a ping pong delay after it. It's for doing really short delays. I won't get into that one. Batman melody is just a little fun melody. With some controls, FM and LFO stuff. Car alarm build. This is a synth which I use for a massive build-up effect. I believe I have a clip here, so this is triggered to play at a certain point during one of the tracks, which is quite cool. I'll just play this for you here. Okay, that didn't work very well. Let's just stop all the clips, go back. Okay, I need to extend this out, so I'm learning something. So this is supposed to be all down low. You turn all of these knobs down low at the start. And it's basically controlling the FM of various things. And we've got a frequency here. So it's just quite fun to create this massive build-up. It's supposed to sound like a car. And that's supposed to happen over a period of about 3 minutes. So it's a lot of fun. I've been playing with that live a lot in my sets. Mood Juice glitch. This is just a... what is this? This is the bass line of Mood Juice. Stop all the clips again. I've chopped it up into different slices in a drum rack. And I've put a note echo on it, which is a lot of fun. And then you have these MIDI clips. So they play... this one just plays a single MIDI clip, but the note echo does some crazy stuff. So let's play it. So if we turn the feedback up, and then if you have different notes in the MIDI clip, and that's quite fun to play over the top of the Mood Juice one. And then we've just got an 8-bit kind of arpeggiated melody here for one of the tracks. What's happening? Do I have a delay going? Yeah, I think I do. And there's various things here. If you hold down the note, it changes the pitch of the thing. So those are the custom racks. The next part is, I'll explain it to you first. This is where all the real magic happens. I'll explain it to you first and then give you an example of how it works. So you can use a Launchpad with this. I've made it quite Launchpad friendly. You don't have to, but I have made it Launchpad friendly. So the first thing we have is a Launchpad control. So if you are using a Launchpad, this is the Max for Live patch that determines two things. It determines what buttons are going to be used, and depending on which bank you have, what the record buttons are, because it needs record buttons in order to record the sequence of all these dummy clips. So very quickly, so I've selected my Launchpad here. It says select what triggers the MIDI notes. Okay, so you want the Launchpad and you want the button matrix, which is the 8x8 grid in the middle. So that's the 8x8 grid is what's going to be triggering these dummy clips here. Each dummy clip track has 8 dummy clips in it. It says select the first page button. So there's two banks because I have actually got 16 channels here with dummy clips in them. So I've actually got 2 sets of 8. So by defining a bank selection button, or 1 or 2 pages, I guess. So I've got this selected to the up button. So when I hit the up button, it's going to be, all the button matrix is going to be controlling the first set of 8. And when I hit the down button here, so I've select down button. When I hit the down button, it's going to be controlling the second page of stuff. So originally I had 2 launch pads, but I thought not many people probably have 2 launch pads. So I've made it so that's 1 launch pad with 2 pages. The next section is the record button. So the buttons down the side of the launch pad, you know, the scene buttons with the little arrow symbol, I use those to record. So they are defined here as, you know, volume pan, send SMB, stop, track on, solo, and arm. So you've got 8 of these, obviously, because there's 8 buttons. So you just need to select those. They should be already selected by default. But just in case you need to change them, or if someone wants to hack it for another controller, you can actually select any button of any control surface that you've currently got plugged in. Then you've got 2 options, 2 clip slots for each, and it needs to know for page 1 which clip slot you want to trigger when you hit that button. So the clip slot is going to record. So I've got Dr. Dummy 1 and then 9 Dr. Dummy 1. So, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 for the second page. So again, what that does is when you push the button, I'll call them scene buttons down the side, what it does is it starts recording the presses that you push in the button matrix, and then when you push the button again, it stops recording them and it starts playing them back. And then if you push it one more time, it will delete the clip. So it's a 3-button push, and it records, then plays, then deletes, and it captures the sequence of buttons that you push. And that's good because if we look over into one of our dummy clip groups, you see where I've grouped them together. The first one has this little thing here. This simply picks up the button pushes of the correct row of buttons in the button matrix that you define. Well, you don't need to define anything. It'll pick up the first row of buttons in the button matrix and then send them as a note out. Okay, so this is just a MIDI track. So it'll basically play a MIDI note depending on what button you push in the first row on the button matrix from 1 to 8, going from left to right. This one here listens to the MIDI information of that one that's picking up the notes. So this one actually listens to the MIDI and plays something, and you say, okay, I'm choosing the first row of my Launchpad. This is just the light feedback thing. So when you push a button, it shows a light, and when it plays it back, it shows the light as well. And then this guy here, Dr. Dummy, what it does is it takes the MIDI note that it receives, and then it will play a specific dummy clip depending on whether it's button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. So this needs to be defined as to which audio track with the dummy clips on it you want to have triggered. In this case, of course, it's simply just one which has got a beat repeat on it. So you need to pick that, and you need to hit the first clip slot as well, just so it knows that when you push those buttons, it knows which one to push. So what this means altogether is by hitting that scene button on the row, it will start recording this clip slot here, and this clip slot here is listening to the MIDI notes from this track here, and this track is getting MIDI information from the 8 buttons. So that means you can use a MIDI clip to record sequences that will trigger dummy clip presets, and this is the cool part. It's a bit tech. Send me an email if you can't get your head around it. The whole idea is people aren't really supposed to understand how it works. It's just they have a Launchpad and they push buttons and it starts triggering dummy clips, and they can record the sequences. But that is how it works. And I've done that 16 times. So you can have up to 16 dummy clips being sequenced, and each one of these dummy clips groups has a separate effect like a corpus, a delay, so on and so on. So that's that. The button slider control, this is a Max for Live patch I made. This allows you to map any parameter within Live by clicking on the map button. So if I click map and click on some parameter, say a volume of something, it'll map to that, and then you specify a minimum and maximum value. But then you can assign these 8 buttons here to either some 8 buttons on your hardware controller or the keys on your computer keyboard. So if I go to my keyboard mode here, you'll notice I've got the first 8 assigned to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I go off that. So if I was to hit 1, whoops, we don't want that. I want to have that on 100, I hope. Excuse me. And once again, I have to sneeze. And the pollen's out today. It's annoying. Yeah, so if I was to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you'll see it'll trigger that. And this will, depending on the minimum and maximum values, this will jump to a certain point in the parameter that I've mapped. So over here, I have this assigned to, where is it? Yeah, this rack that I've made, this return track called the orgasmic delay. So this is a feedback delay that feeds back into itself, into its own return track to create that kind of dub delay stuff. So I've got the keyboard set up with that 8-button toggle thing, 8-button slider, I think I called it. So I can use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to control parameters using the keyboard. And I've got QW, oops. What did I do? Didn't have my caps lock on. QWE. I've got the keyboard on up here. QWE. So that controls the low pass. QWE RTYUI. And 1, 2, 3 controls the high pass. And then ASDFGHJK will control the gain of the return track. So this specifies how much volume gets fed back into the return track, ultimately back into itself over and over. And then ZXCVBNM, comma, controls the amount of reverb. So that's really good. You can send anything to the orgasmic delay return track and use the keyboard to do big, skanky, filtered dub-out delays. A lot of fun. Yay. And you can use your hardware controller too. I just created the 8-button slider because I think a lot of people who might end up using this Megaset might just be trying it out and not have a hardware controller and just want to use the computer keyboard to get some interaction. Okay, so this one here, which is called the dummy injector, this is called a max patch called the dual toggle. This is the Megaset edition. It basically just means it's a bit prettier and it's color-coded. What it does is, the usual function of it is you can map 2 parameters per area. So there's 12 areas, I guess, or 12 pieces to it. So you can map 2 parameters for each one. You can specify a minimum and a maximum value. And then when you hit this button, it will change it to these. Change both parameters to whatever it has set here, and when you hit it again, it'll change the parameters to what you have set here. So I use this for sending stuff to the dummy channel really fast. For example, on one here, I've got base A. I've mapped this one to the volume, and I've mapped this one to send A. So send A, of course, is where you send stuff, because send A, if you want it to go to the dummy track, because send A will send it back to the dummy chain, and all of those 16 chains are linked up to each other one after the other, so all the audio from one is going into the next one, to the next one, to the next one, until it reaches 16 and gets fed out to the end. So by sending something to send A, it'll return to the first one of those. So by hitting base A, you'll notice it'll quickly send it to the dummy, kick, percussion, synth, tech, and rest. So that's very quick for sending stuff to the dummy tracks. And of course we have the second set of 6 as well. And you'll notice over on the orgasmic delay here, I have another one set up, but this one is to send stuff to the delay. So this one will be sending send B. So when you go over to the orgasmic delay return track, you can use this, or you can assign any of these to MIDI as well. So you can just use buttons on your MIDI controller to quickly send one of the 12 tracks that are playing audio to the delay. What else have we got? So yeah, the dummy injector, that's, yeah, I believe that's all of it. this final return track over here, this is just, this takes the output of the orchesmic delay. So the orchesmic delay doesn't actually go straight to the master, it goes to this return track first, just because I've got some compressors on it which are sidechained to the kicks. And that one needs to be down because I've been playing with it, and which just means that, you know, there's a bit of ducking, a bit of sidechaining when the kicks happen. Okay, so that's the explanation. I will quickly give you an example of how the dummy tracks work. Okay, so I've zoomed out completely here so we can see all of the 16 dummy clips together in their groups. So I've got a set of 16 here, I've got my Launchpad plugged in here, it's on user 2 mode. So by hitting the first button, we're going into page 1, and on the second button, we're in page 2. So the first button, all of these buttons will control the first set of 8. On page 2, they will control the second set of 8. Let me just get rid of these. Okay, so what happens is when I push button 1 through 8, it will trigger MIDI clips 1 through 8 on the first dummy clip group for the first row. Second row, it will do it for the second one, third for the third one, and so on. So to give you an example here, I'm just going to quickly push all these buttons. Okay, so I have a kick and a simple triplet melody thing going in here. On the first row, I have a beat repeat, so I can hit that. Like so. I can record a sequence if I want using this button. So one push records. Hit it again and it will play it back for you. Okay, the second one I have some EQs. I can record that too. I don't like that, so I'm going to push it to reset it and I'm going to try again. So now we have 2 sequences going. I'll skip this one, this is a gate. I'm going to use a reductor. So let's record. Like so. The next one is a filter, so that just does squeaky stuff. Then we have a reverb thing. So I can record those as well, let's do that. Excellent. Then we have some choruses. So record something there. Excellent. And let's do a flanger. Excellent. Now I move on to page 2. What do we have? We have a phaser. Record it. And I'm going to stop it there just because the screen recording software is making my computer start to lag a bit, and I've got a lot of USB stuff plugged in, but you get the idea. We've got various other things. We've got a frequency shifter. We have a grain delay. Then we have another type of delay. It's pretty cool. It's taking a while to update now. We also have a corpus, a vocoder just does real crazy whack shit to it. Wait for it. And then finally we have a proper delay which goes in sync with the beat. So I'll just play you one of those. Again, you have to forgive me for the lag here, but it shouldn't do this on yours. It doesn't do this when I don't screen record. So that's pretty cool. That's simply from that one loop that we had. Let's bring in some other stuff. And we'll bring in a bass line. change that delay to something else. Let's say I don't like how that redux is going. Let's go back to page 1. Remember, this one's the redux. I can hit it to delete the clip. And let's record again. This is the grain delay. This is just the delay, very short delay. Let's record that. And we'll get rid of the delay, which is at the end. And put the vocoder on it. So there you go. That's how the Launchpad works with it. It's stopped lagging, interestingly, when we got to the end there. If you do find it lagging on your computer, if you could let me know. Yeah, if you have any CPU issues, please do tell me. I'm trying to make the Max for Live patches a bit less complex, which is my problem because I'm still learning my Max for Live stuff, so there's a lot of chunking down I could do. However, as I said, when I'm not screen recording, I can jam with this freely and not worry about anything or any glitches, which is a lot of fun. So I'm going to end the video there. Again, if you're watching this and you are not a beta tester, I hope it isn't too confusing for you. This is supposed to be for people testing it out. The end product is going to be very straightforward, very simple to use, still very deep in what you can do, but yeah, hang out for that. And if you do want to be a beta tester and you're a pro member, get in touch at cosm.co.nz. Thanks for watching. My name's Tom Cosm.